Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by
This
the
is the
fans.
Frick and Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by the fans.
Frick and Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by the fans.
All right, guys, you're watching the Frick and Frack Show podcast for the
fans by the fans.
My man.
Hello. How's it going, man?
They're back. What's that from?
They're back.
Poltergeist? No. Not Poltergeist.
I don't know. Maybe Ghostbusters.
something along the lines of ghost stuff in horror movies and yeah. But I think the Red Rum, that one, I think that's the same thing. I think.
Oh yeah, that's The Shining.
We're hitting the hot topics right off the bat, man. We're minute 7 in hitting the hot topics right off the bat.
The Shining is an incredible movie, by the way.
Fun fact, never seen it.
You'd probably fall asleep.
I heard he went crazy making it, something like that, right?
I think everybody did, including the director. But of course, it was Shelley Winters. She had a very rough time filming that. Especially when there's a scene where she's forced to cry. She had to shoot that scene like 100-something times. That's that'll cause a mental breakdown, and that's what she pretty much had. If she didn't,
That's crazy, man. That's crazy how deep actors and actresses and directors, get people to go, push them to the breaking point.
It's hardcore, man, and I guess it's necessary to get the performance, but is it?
Right, especially with a kid. That's nuts, man.
No.
All right, y'all, you know the drill by now. This is episode 65. This is a podcast for the fans, by the fans. Let us know as you're watching this. It's Friday night. Drop in the comments where you're watching from and share it with a friend. This entire episode is going to be about sharing this podcast with a friend. And I know I'm excited. I know Caleb's excited, man. Fired up. Tonight, we are going to have Heather, Allison, and April on the show who just spent a weekend together first time. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, yeah.
And Chris dealt with us the entire weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
That's
the man's Chris, right? That's your guy, right?
Yeah.
He's probably used to it by now. I mean, you taking him along to these Backstreet shows, these Bailey shows. I mean, he's got to know what the fandom's all about.
Those with me, but
what?
No,
Oh,
it's
man.
nothing. He's been to one Backstreet show. He's been to 2
Chris.
Bailey shows, but he understands it because of the fandom he came from. So he was born into a fandom. He's related to Rascal Flatts, so he gets it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Related to Rascal Flatts.
Mm-hmm.
This is news. I did not know this.
His uncle is Jada Marcus.
Wow, that's amazing. That's crazy.
Yeah. We met through their fandom, actually.
I'll be dang. You ladies had yourself a little bit of a weekend this last weekend. Why don't you guys start from the top, man? Start from the beginning. How first of all, how'd you guys meet? How about that?
Here.
Yeah.
Through the podcast, huh?
Yep.
It's kind of the mission statement, I suppose we would say, when Caleb and I started this thing is bringing people together through like-mindedness. We were going through a dark time and all of us came together through music, really.
Mm-hmm.
We did. And it brought this entire, I guess we can say, like, fandom together. And we definitely grew more and more than we ever thought we ever could, do or even just be as a platform and as a family, of course. And it's been a crazy year and a half doing this, and it seems like every day we're meeting more and more people, and it's just been an incredible privilege to be able to bring this to people every week. Yeah,
it's exciting, man. It's mind blowing, really. Heather, you had started what we would call a sister page a while back. Walk us through kind of how that went about and how you got going with that.
Well, I had just started writing fanfics again, and one of my friends, she also was writing, and we started commenting back and forth on each other's stories and whatnot, and it kind of just evolved from there. And then I was kind of going back and forth with the idea of finding other people who were still wrote or even read, because AO3 is amazing. And then the DNA official page started up, and I'm not going to say what it was, but somebody posted something really inappropriate about Nick, and I posted in the comments. I said, "Wow!" And here I was worried about asking if anyone in here still read or wrote fanfics, and lo and behold, Becca saw the comment and replied. After that, I started the group. We had our original name wasn't what it is now. That changed when Kimmy came into the picture. So Becca encouraged the group, and Kimmy encouraged the name change. And then the invites and the requests to join just skyrocketed after the name change, and we're now at 10,300 some members.
Hey, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
I think the creative minds behind, kind of what you guys do and what Kimmy does. I mean, Kimmy's brilliant. It's fascinating to see where she started and how she's evolved in her art as well. She's a great person to know for sure.
Mm-hmm. She's such a sweetheart.
She's great, right?
Yeah,
she's
she
so
is.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
What sparked the idea of you guys meeting up?
Well, I think it first started me and Heather realized we lived in the same town.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we met up on the town square shortly after finding that out. And I think we sent you guys that picture of us. And I was like,
shocked.
That was like so cool. Like, we actually know somebody from this podcast that's like right here in town. And then I've been talking to Allison and, about other stuff for a while. And I was like, she's like, well, I live like just a state over. And we're like, one day we're going to have to travel because it's only a couple hours away. She's like, oh yeah, for sure. And the rest is kind of history, honestly.
Well, the Columbus Comic-Con was scheduled, and Howie was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's really how it got that started.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were all going to go. We bought tickets. The five of us bought tickets because Miss Bailey was still here. She rested in peace. But we all bought tickets and VIPs, and we were all ready to go. And then 2 days later, he canceled. But they didn't give us money back on the actual con. The con's supposed to be this spring, so hopefully one of them will reschedule and we'll get to do it all over again. Yeah. But we just decided, even though they canceled, we all had the weekend off already, and we just decided, why not? Let's just
let's just do it.
Make the best of it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys had a great weekend. First of all, just looking at the pictures and talking to each of you about it, it's crazy that you guys, we thought it was crazy to meet up after, over a year. But like for a bundle of people to meet up, it is just even more special. I think in a way, just looking from the outside in, with our perspective, because we talk to each other all the time, but it's very surreal when we're able to meet up with each other and actually be there physically,
And we all needed it for our own personal reasons, but
yeah,
I just want to throw out there that I'm really grateful that it happened when it did, because
me too.
I've been through a lot lately, and I just needed a weekend to just, throw it all out the window. So.
Right. And a lot of hugs.
Yes.
A lot of
hugs.
We hugged a lot.
We did.
We played Cards Against Humanity.
Did we ever figure out who won that, though? I don't think we can. It was a tie across the board. There you go.
I didn't know you could have a winner in that game. Anyways,
Oh,
so
yes.
You can just
Yeah.
determine it like when you get tired of playing, whoever's got the most cards.
Mhm.
wins.
Yeah.
what a game.
Seems
What a game.
fair.
Yeah,
I
that's
have the bigger blacker box with about 1,500 cards in it, so you could play for
Yeah,
days.
I've never seen one that big before. And I was like, holy cow, there's so many cards in here.
You could play for days.
You could. Yep.
So why Ohio, Allison? You're a Nebraska native. What made the move to Ohio?
So boyfriend.
Oh,
Well, simply
I've
said.
been here for like 7 years though. I've lived here for a while. Well, and I also, I mean, you live 20 minutes from where I grew up. Nebraska is very rural, and I always knew that like I would grow up there and I'd go to college there because I went to Chadron State and like all of that.
oh, you're talking rural, yeah.
Yeah, but because my mom and her whole family's from Alliance, Nebraska, which is western Nebraska, but I
Dang near
knew
Wyoming.
that I would never stay, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense. Just because, like,
I
I'm
get
not a farmer, I'm not a teacher. Like,
Okay,
there's
all right.
really nothing there for
Stop
me.
there, please. Okay, so coming from a Nebraska girl, I can't believe you're saying this. Well, the first thing I asked Caleb, I think, when we got in the car after he landed, I was like, all right. So
Oh,
is this
yeah.
is this what people think? Because it's Omaha.
Yeah.
You're talking pretty much Wyoming is what you're talking. Like Chadron,
Yeah,
Alliance.
Colorado,
That's
South Dakota. I mean, I went to
That's
college
not-
15 minutes from the South Dakota border. So
Okay,
when Chris
all right,
came
so
to
that's
visit me the
different.
first time, he was like, "What do y'all do for fun here?" And I was like, "What season is it? Because it's summertime, there's plenty to do. If it's wintertime, you're screwed." So
Man.
yeah,
my
because he's from
goodness.
here. He grew up here in the city, and he was like, "I like to fish and hunt, but holy crap, there's literally like you have to go an hour for a Walmart." Like,
It's not okay for people watching that have never been to Nebraska. That's not the Nebraska that I live in. Okay, I don't have to go 20 minutes. Actually,
East
yes, I do.
side.
Technically, I live in Hickman now. So, but Lincoln and Omaha, there's WalMarts everywhere. Okay, you got
oh
like
yeah,
27
every
McDonald's.
block, around every corner in Lincoln and Omaha. But if you
what
go
I asked
past
Caleb.
Lincoln,
That's crazy, man.
We were on
No,
the
I mean-
freeway. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, it just looked like Houma, which is like 30 minutes away from here. That's all, wherever you pick me up from, it just looked like New Orleans / Houma to me. I was like, I was expecting a lot of, children running around in a cornfield and stuff, but
No, that's Indiana.
Yeah, it's Indiana.
I had to come to Indiana for all that.
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
me going to Houston, and the first time I went to Houston, I was, I got there and my buddy Paul was like, so is everything you dreamed of? I was like, where's the cactus at? And he's like about 9 hours away from here. Keep going.
no, you got to go to Iowa to find children of the corn.
Oh,
To
we don't go to
find
Iowa.
children running around in
Man.
cornfields.
No,
You got to go to
we don't.
Iowa.
We don't go to
False
Iowa.
advertisement.
Actually, technically, I guess Caleb and I were in Iowa all weekend, but that's still
Mhm.
Omaha. A couple steps and
Yeah.
it's Omaha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't count that as Iowa or wherever.
Nope, man, because we don't go to
Wisconsin
Iowa.
Bluffs, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was
Yeah,
Hudson. It was the river. I mean,
You go over the river.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we could
So-
see it from where we were.
technically, the good friend that I am would not have taken Caleb to Iowa because no. Well, we did go to the Sonic. You remember that? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, now buckle your seatbelt, lock the doors. We'll only roll the window down to get our order. Okay.
Yeah, the food sucked there, man. I was
Yeah.
like,
It's
oh,
kinda
it
like-
sucks like it does in Morgan City.
Yeah.
Cold hot dog and cold
Well,
fries.
it's Sonic. The only thing
But-
good there is their ice cream.
I was like,
That-
oh
but
man.
Yeah.
Matthew, it's
Oh, no, I like the
going to
ocean water.
Colorado
That sounds
on
pretty
game
good.
day.
Game day is game
It's
day is
kind of like
different.
going to Colorado on Husker game day. You don't take your own car. You rent a car because
Nope,
they
they
will
slash
trash your car.
tires. Yeah. No, we don't. We
Mm.
don't play that game anymore. We've learned once.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Story for another time.
Nah, man, they slash tires. They like beat up
That's-
people in the parking lot. Like,
that's
they
Colorado
fight.
crazy.
fans do.
That's scary.
That is
Unless-
scary.
Unless you're a fan of the podcast, which we know you are a different type of person. So please stick
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah, nobody wanted to beat us up in Council Bluffs at least.
Nah, that was all
You know,
friends.
They wanted to
That
hug.
looks like fun.
They
It
wanted
was
to
so
hug.
much fun. It was so much fun, man. Some girls asked if they could buy our pants right off our body. It was crazy.
They
No.
said,
my.
if you take them off right now, we'll buy them. I was like, well,
I don't got anything.
I
to
don't
wear.
think we can. Yeah, that was an interesting thing too. My goodness, that was And they were by the way, they were not playing. They were very serious about that. And it was very interesting. I was like, oh, okay. And no, we had a great time in Council Bluffs. Everybody just wanted a hug. And I was just like, But
it was so hot.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was
Matt was very
hot.
sweaty.
I was dying. I couldn't take off my backpack because I had so much back sweat. So I lugged the backpack around on the back so you couldn't see the back sweat, but then it just started sweating through the backpack. So here we are.
Yeah, I was not sweating at all.
No,
I
you had
wasn't
a
even
jacket on.
I had a jacket. I had a shirt underneath it. Literally was not even a drop of sweat on my back. Nothing.
Well, it's a different heat between Matthew and Caleb. Like,
yeah.
live in different parts of the world.
Right.
I mean, I live in the South, so like, the more you go, I guess north is, different. But like, I don't know. I'm just used to heat, and Matt's like, I'm sweating, bro.
I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry we were doing this on this hot of a day. He's like, we're fine.
I was like, huh? I was like, oh, it's only like 82 here.
Oh,
wrong. It was 89, but the heat index was like 97. All right. I was
I'd be miserable.
He goes, that's just a normal Tuesday.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like
a normal Louisiana day.
It's like 107, like in Louisiana. I think it was like 106, 107 that day in Louisiana. I was like, yeah, this is like winter to me.
And that was right during that hurricane too, because my family, we were all in Florida, and we were like meeting people left and right that were evacuating, and I was like, oh goodness, I hope Caleb gets home okay.
No, that
Change
was not
plans.
fun. That cost us another $300 and something dollars to get on a plane, because what happened was I got I was supposed to leave that next day, that Monday. So the crazy thing about it was Sunday morning, I get actually Saturday night, I get a notice that, hey, your flight's been canceled. And so they tell me, well, you're gonna have to wait till next Saturday. And I was like, I'm not staying in Council Bluffs all week. I said, there's nothing to do here,
Facts.
And so they said, well, if you pay another $300 something, we'll get you on a flight in about 45 minutes. Can you get to the airport? And I was like, yes. So ended up having to pay more money, insane. I'm gonna say insane amount of money just to get home. And by the time I got home, everything was destroyed. Not in my area, but surrounding areas. And I had to stay in Texas till I got a ride back home. It was a mess. $70 for a Uber.
And the hotel guy couldn't figure out my card. Like he like couldn't run the card, so he ran it like 15 times. And we just got to the venue to start interviewing people, and he calls. He goes, "Hey, if you don't come back and handle this or something, we're gonna have to charge you for an extra night." And I'm like, "What's going on?" So then we transferred the money here and there, blah blah blah. Got back, realized Caleb had to stay again, and it was just a mess, dude. But we had a great time. So.
That's true. We got to meet the amazing.
Yeah.
It was definitely an adventure, because a lot of the people who were there we had on the show already, and we were just backstage hanging out with everybody, and we were told, like, you guys are all equals backstage, so if you want to go hang out with Eric or Trevor from O-Town, just go talk, do whatever y'all want to do. And I was like, okay. So I remember one of the best things was meeting Chris Kirkpatrick, and he didn't we didn't tell him we were going. I think he was the only one who knew we weren't who didn't know we were going. But we were passing. We were like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "Hey, guys," and he's like, "You."
It was a double. It was a
you
double.
Guys
take,
are
yeah.
here.
The double take got me, dude.
He was like, "You're here."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
It was pretty insane though. It was definitely very memorable, being talking to different talking to Chris at that time, and looking to the right at the where the crowd is, and you're hearing Frick and Frack, come see.
It was wild. It was crazy. I didn't realize it's just one of those things. It was just surreal. I'm glad it happened. So we were supposed to be in Vegas this weekend, all of us.
Not me. I was until December.
Well, a lot of us were going to go.
Us two, us two, and like 7 others.
Yeah, it was going to be fun.
About that.
You know what would have really been terrible if I wanted to keep my tickets to go see Celine Dion, and she just canceled her residency like 4 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. That would have been even more worse. But thankfully, I got a refund on a hotel and everything, flights, everything. 2 months ago, because if I would have banked on Celine Dion being there, we would have been forced to go to Vegas and not have a good time.
everything got canceled. Everything got shut down. I'm pretty sure wasn't Travis Scott doing a festival down there like right before we were going, or was it not Travis Scott? Because
yes, it was Travis Scott. I think the 14th.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
Yeah, it was him and like Young Lock or Loke, whatever his name is, and
one of those youngins.
But let's just say he will not be there.
Nope.
He would definitely not be there.
Crazy.
Yes. Crazy things happening in the world today. And that is definitely one of the absolute most bizarre, craziest things I have probably read in my entire life. Of something going down at a concert.
Well, it's sad to me because like all the concerts I've ever been to, like if somebody passes out, the artist either stops the show, because I go to mostly country concerts, the artist will stop the show and like throw water at you, like give you water themselves, like give you their own, or somebody in the crowd will like pick you up and people will start flagging like, hey, something's gone on, versus just like letting it happen. That's why I was just like, this is crazy, because I've never I've seen people passing out at shows before, but I've never seen the show just like continue even though people are passing out. So I was just like,
300, let's just even say 50 people passed out. I understand he had in-ears and of course, those things are molded. So there is a complete sound isolation, but that doesn't disregard his vision. And especially, in the first, I think they said 10th row, whatever, is when people were really getting packed in. But it's really sad because he had saw things and then he was like, all right, let's go. And I was like, what? But which I'd seen I think the 9th victim, I think they said died today, which is breaks my heart, because truthfully after this I think concerts are going to change for the better. Now according to, I saw the report that they did today, the police department or whatever, the sheriff department or whatever, he had released a report and it said I think it was either a couple hundred or a couple thousand people snuck in. Whenever they allowed people to open up the gates, there was a bunch of them that went through it, and went crazy. And those, look, let's just say even 5,000 people, 5,000 more people added to, anything is crushing. It can really be bad. And, my thoughts and prayers go out to them, because it's a nasty situation. And, I know things will change for the better now, but this didn't need to happen for, things to have to change for the better, Yeah,
I don't know. I read something about an 8-year-old being in there and getting
hurt. There were kids
that were doing.
Support. And the doctors told his parents if he makes it through, he will never be the same again, ever.
Yeah. Those parents should be charged with child abuse. Yes, Travis Scott should handle his own business.
What happened is Fortnite did a promotion with him. So he had a young fan base because of Fortnite.
Man. I've never listened to his music. I've listened.
I don't even know who he is.
I know he was featured on a couple songs in the past that I heard, but it ain't for me. It's not for me to listen to.
Heather.
Yeah,
I
don't do rap.
That Fortnite blaming thing is a lot like when they blame Marilyn Manson for the kids and Columbine thing.
It's true. He actually did an event with Fortnite. I've seen the character that they made for him.
Yeah, but handle your business, parents.
Yeah, we know it's true. We were just saying that it's a sadly it's it's like all these different people who are featured in Fortnite. It's questioning how 8-year-olds, and because Fortnite is aimed, I guess you would say even 6 years old to it's everyone plays it, but you get on the microphone and it's like, hi, What's your name?
Yeah, I know.
Every time, you know.
I guess this isn't the first time it's happened with him either. I guess it's happened 2 other times. So it's like, why is he still being allowed to perform?
Yeah.
Yes. And what a shame, guys. But you know what? Like, all we can hope is that things do change, which, you know, I know there's, especially Live Nation. Live Nation is always the first to respond to the stuff. And I'm sure they're going to have new protocols for their concerts, which, you know, I'm all about, you know, making things safer for people, you know. And if, I mean, we all seen the videos. I mean, they were all, you know, so many people were like, help us, help us, help us. And, you know, that kind of stuff just needs to change.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Woodstock documentary that I just watched where they tried to remake Woodstock 78, but it was like Woodstock 2000.
Yeah.
And people were like swimming in feces and fighting each other. And that's not the same, but it's kind of what it reminds me of. You pack all those people in there and something's going to happen.
Oh, yes. I mean,
that's why I don't like festivals myself. I don't like festival concerts.
Yeah, I've never been to an actual.
I've always refused.
I've been to X Fest once, and that was it. X Fest. I don't think they have it anymore. This was back when I was in high school. I went with some friends from there. And they had like multiple different bands there all day. And then at night, like the big stars would be on the main stage. My friend's mom and dad own a photography business. And I went with her and another friend of ours. So we had safe seats. We had a little box. We just used their parents' box for the night. But I mean, if we'd been in the lawn or like in the mosh areas, it definitely probably would not have been a safe place for 3 teenage girls to be. But yeah, so I can kind of understand how crazy those type of shows can get.
Yeah, we have a thing called Jazz Fest here, and you know, as amazing as the lineup usually is, it's something I'll probably never go to. You know, I mean, like one year there was like, you know, Fleetwood Mac, Cyndi Lauper, like, you know, like Steven Tyler, like all together. You know, Stevie Wonder was there too that year. Like, you know, it's like the festival you would want to attend or have to attend. Like people traveled from all over the, you know, countries, you know, even just to go to this thing. But that is a place they pack you in like sardines. That is a place you cannot move once you're in there. It's very, very difficult. You know, I'm talking about easily more than 20,000 people easily, you know, on a fairground, and it's not even big. They split it up with like 6 or 7 different stages, but everybody is like this. You know, but yeah, not a place for me. You know, of course, whenever we went to see Jonas Brothers, we went to a pavilion and we were on a lawn, but it wasn't overly crowded. You know, it was crowded, but everybody was able to stay even like 6 feet apart from each other. And it was really, really nice. And but I can imagine someone, you know, overselling tickets or, you know, whatever, and it becoming that crowded. But that would definitely be the place that I wouldn't want to be at, you know?
Yeah, that's scary, man. All those people in one place. I don't know. I guess I don't really ever think about it. Like when we go to the Husker games and there's 85,000 or 90,000 people there, like that's, I don't think about it like that because you each have your own seat. You each have your own portion and everybody's there for the same cause, I guess, you know, it's not different types of different people. I don't know how to explain it. You just feel comfortable, I guess. You know, people are leaving at different times of the game, and
I mean, we always leave, you know, 3 or 4 songs before the finale, just because we don't want to be in the crowd, you know, at the end. And I think by the time we got out of the actual pavilion for Jonas Brothers, we left like 2 or 3 songs early. By the time we got downstairs, it was, you know, the end of the concert. You know, but they were rushing because they were a little behind, and there's a noise ordinance, so they were like, go.
Yeah, I guess Garth Brooks was kind of the closest thing, because there was the most people that have ever been in that stadium. It holds for a football game 96,000, so they had everybody on the field too, so you're looking at way over 100,000. That was the one where I kind of stopped and was like, hold on, like if something happens, because they shuttle you out like cattle, almost like through a cattle chute.
Yep.
And people are hammered. It was the first time they ever sold alcohol in the stadium, and I'm just looking around and as the only sober person within 10 miles probably, I'm like, this could be bad. Like it scared me a little bit, and I've never felt that way.
I've never understood that either, going to a concert just to get drunk.
No.
Caleb and I talked about it last night.
About seeing Backstreet and Florida Georgia Line in Chicago and how drunk those people were at that concert.
The country concerts are horrible.
Favorite Backstreet show because the Florida Georgia Line fans were so incredibly drunk. They were spilling beer on us before the sun even went down.
Yeah.
Like they were so drunk. And I don't understand that. Like you spend, like we were talking before we went live about how expensive shows are. You're going to spend $100, $200, $300 on a show
just to get drunk.
Not remember it. Like I don't understand.
Like what's the point? Save the ticket for someone who actually wants to go for the show, not to get drunk. And country concerts are. My mom, when we went and saw Kenny Chesney, Mom had a beer dumped down her back.
Nope.
Nope.
Like I'll admit, I'll have a.
It was a good show,
but I'll have one, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'll have about 6 bottles of water, 8 bottles of water per concert, and that's
drinks are so expensive at concerts anyway.
So
I don't know how people could afford to buy
like
a 12-pack at $15 a pop.
It's like $8 a water bottle at the concert here in New Orleans is $8.
I just don't drink anything because I know I'd have to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes, and I ain't about that. So I just wait till after the concert.
Yeah.
Now I won't say the coolest thing I've ever got from a concert. It was a souvenir / water bottle. I went to see Fleetwood Mac, and a third party was selling water bottles for $10. I'm like, okay, that's an affordable price, for a souvenir. And you got to fill it up for free at a couple certain spots throughout the stadium for the whole night. And I'm like, free drinks and a souvenir that I can afford. Yeah.
Right.
I still drink out of that water bottle too.
Nice.
What year did you go see Fleetwood Mac?
Oh gosh, you would have to ask me that.
Yeah.
Was Lindsay with him?
Who?
Lindsey Buckingham? The main
No, this
singer
was-
wasn't with him?
No. No, this was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. It was right after right after Stevie Nicks did her 24 karat gold tour, because I went to that one first. And then I heard Fleetwood Mac is coming, so then I went and saw them as a whole group. And
you must have went
1 or 2 years later.
You must have went when there was like 2 other guitarists. They're younger. They're like in their 60s, but one of them I forgot his name, but he sings a lot of my favorite songs. But he was actually he replaced Lindsey Buckingham, and which, I mean, I'm a big fan of Lindsey, and I don't want to go see Fleet for my first time unless he's with them, But when you're in a band for so long, you can only take each other so much, and but hopefully next year they announce this huge reunion or something, because I would love to see them. And Mick Fleetwood on the drums, his age and still doing it by himself is
it was he had a pretty cool drum solo, and I'm like, it's amazing.
Oh, I'm so jealous you got to see them.
That's kind of how I felt about Backstreet, though. I refused to go when Kevin wasn't around. I was like, well, if Kevin ever comes back, and then they announced that in London, and I'm sitting in college at my work study job just bawling. I was just like, I get to go see them now.
I'm so glad I got to see them without Kevin.
Yeah, that must have been a different experience, but I don't know, guys.
It was.
Like,
I didn't even know these concerts were happening because I was kind of out of the fandom at the moment.
Well, I was too, but as soon as I heard New Kids and Backstreet, and I was like, okay, this is a once in a lifetime tour. I will kick myself for the rest of my life if I don't go.
Oh, I know. I've been.
And I hadn't seen them. I've been doing it for a long time. At
10 years, I've been doing it, Heather. So good job for actually going.
It turned me into a blockhead. I always liked New Kids, but after that tour, I became an even bigger New Kids fan. And it was and that's the closest to any of the guys that I've ever been to. So the closest I've ever been to any of the guys. So yeah, it was just one of those things. I was like, I need to go do this. I haven't seen him since Never Gone. I need another fix. So I got to see Kevin. I got to see Kevin before he left, which makes that tour really, even though I don't really remember it because it was so long ago.
I remember Never Going.
And then I got to see them while he was gone. And then I missed In a World Like This.
Me too.
So when DNA came around, I told Mom, I said, look, I already missed the 20-year anniversary tour. I'm not missing the 25th.
Which, I mean, I guess you kind of did. I mean,
you want to go into it? Let's get into it, shall we? Let's get a little spicy. Let's go.
You did go see DNA?
Yeah. I saw it in 19. I met Bailey. Yeah.
I think it's Miss Sherry who didn't get to see DNA yet.
I'm still sitting on my tickets for Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
But yes, I did get to go see them, and when they came to Indy, I saw I got to meet. Bailey. Yep.
Sweet. By the way, I just want to say
Miguel was there, right?
Miguel was there. We got to help Miguel surprise Bailey because he had no clue he was there, and Miguel stood behind me in Bailey's line the entire time. Had no idea who the guy was till we got over to the little wall that we stood against to wait to go back, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Bailey's godfather."
Wow.
What?
He's hilarious.
He is so funny. He fits into the family perfectly.
Absolutely.
Same sense of humor. It was just beautiful. And Bailey had no clue he was there. He had flown in from Mexico that day. He had his bag. He had his luggage with him. He paid for his own ticket. He would not let Leanne pay. He paid for his own shirt. Yep. So that was before we started the meet and greet. He came out and we got to enjoy a little family reunion. It was cool. And it was needed because I almost missed my meet and greet with Bailey because of what was going on. I almost missed that whole night, but
you made it.
Things were going on. Yeah, my papa was in the hospital and not doing well. So
yeah. Speaking of which, guys, I think was it next week, a week after? It's New Edition and New Kids on the Block are going to be on the same stage performing.
The 21st, they're going to be on the
21st. That's
cool.
I promise you, Matt, if they announce that New Edition is added to the New Kids on the Block tour, I promise you all those tickets that are remaining, they're not going to be available. They're going to be going very, very fast.
Don't quote me on it, but I think I saw in the woodworks that Andy told somebody that New Edition has their own commitments already. So
they do. They have a 2022 tour, which is going to be about 6 months or whatever. But she's not allowed to discuss certain things anyway. Before they're announced. So, but no, next year I'm definitely going to see New Edition because it's going to be like all 6 members. Including Bobby himself is going to be there, and
nice.
I'm just waiting for them to announce the dates.
They're the ones that really started the whole thing. So since we had talked about the 25th anniversary and what's all happening with the DNA tour, I have a question for you guys. Okay. Would you rather have them go back to the DNA tour, or you always have an option, do a new CD with a new tour? Because I've seen a lot of controversy, and anybody that comments on that page that we will not speak of ends up getting chewed up and down when it's brought up. Like, why don't you just do a new tour? And people are like, no, I want to see DNA still. And I'm like, I'll just stay myself out of it.
I've only seen it 6 times.
We do have a platform on which we can discuss these options. So let's discuss it. What do you guys think?
I want to see DNA again.
Over a new material? You'd rather see, really?
It was that good. It's their best tour.
Amazing. It's amazing. I'm not saying the tour's not great. Mm-hmm. I just am thinking, how long ago was this first postponement? Do you guys remember?
2020.
2020, yeah.
2020.
So now we're talking closer to the now we're talking closer to the 30th, right? The 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, technology being what it is, and all these, solo endeavors and projects that are happening, why not? Why not have some new material there to throw on? I mean, do the whole DNA setup and that light show. Don't get me wrong, it was great. Hard.
Oh yeah.
That was. Oh
why
my
can't
gosh.
you do new material? Why not?
Why can't you do in a world like this?
Please.
Because Brian can't hit those high notes anymore.
I know.
He can hit the high notes. The high notes aren't the issue. His lower register is what is really bad, which is why he talks like this, because he's able to go high, but low. Which, I mean, for in a world like this, he only did do the high notes on except for Breathe, which in the current state would be very difficult for him to sing. Which I just want to hear. I actually do want to hear him do Breathe, because that's one of my, Kevin. It's a song that Kevin comes in to save the day, in the beginning, and it's just a beautiful song, man. Beautiful,
I mean, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place with that question, because yes, I loved DNA. I went twice in 30 days. I absolutely loved it. But at the same time, it's been so long that it's just like, this is really sad for me to say, but I'm kind of over it. Does that make sense? Like,
you're allowed to have your own opinion. You're allowed to.
At the same time, I'm just like, I'm kind of over it. I want something different now. Like something else to
Yeah.
look forward to.
Exactly. Well, since it being the 30th, it's like you'd think they would do something kind of big for that. You would hope, maybe.
we were hoping, yes, we were definitely hoping. Especially even another Vegas residency, like somewhere where we can all just meet up, would be amazing. But
kind of like they did for the 20th, where they did that like Q&A thing.
Oh yeah, that's true. But you know what? I've seen DNA so many times on YouTube. I've watched it twice in person in like 48 hours. I've seen it, back to back in Lafayette, New Orleans. But I've seen it so many times on YouTube. I am at the stage where I'm over it. And also, I'm moving on to bigger and better things, I guess you can say, like, just going to, just having other plans to seeing other people in concerts. And I would love for something to be new. Personally, I would think a 30th anniversary, Vegas residency. I think it would sell a lot faster. Even the people overseas would still buy those tickets immediately. But, because DNA is going to run for what? It's probably
2 years.
Yeah. I think so. Which
they have that many dates left to fulfill.
So I mean, they may as well make a plans for a 40th anniversary.
I think with me, it's because I've held onto the tickets for so long now, and I finally have the money to drop for meet and greets. So I already have the one half of what I need. I just need the meet and greets now. Next year will be 25 years. I'm just ready to get my hug finally.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to point out for those watching and listening, we just had a conversation. That is how people talk to each other. I applaud you. That was great.
It's definitely having a lot of fun conversating, but there's no such thing as a keyboard warrior on a live, with the guest at least. But so we do have to communicate, and I guess the pressure works really well. Yeah,
it was great. I liked it. So yeah, moving on. I want to talk to you guys about one of my newest, and Caleb's been a fan of it for a while. I recently discovered O-Town. So there's that. I am fascinated by this group. I'm fascinated by the people in it. I'm so thankful that Caleb was like, dude, you got to check these new songs out. What about you guys? I mean, have you guys been to a different type of boy band show like that? Or is, New Kids and Backstreet kind of where, you guys lie?
Yeah.
With me, that's just because money and things like that. I'm still pretty devastated that I never got to see NSYNC, because they are the reason I got into pop music.
Definitely.
They were
I
the first
100%
boy
agree.
band that I mean, when I heard As Long as You Love Me, I already had their first album memorized 1 through 13 because I listened to it every single day when I got home from school.
That's so cool.
That's really, really true though, because growing up for me, Backstreet Boys, I really thought they were an R&B group. Like they weren't, because in the beginning they were kind of classified that, and I had no idea they were pop until NSYNC came out for some reason, and then NSYNC was just so different, even New Kids, like New Kids in a Block, and Heather can say this as well. New Kids and Backstreet Boys are completely different. Like in concert, I mean the interaction of fans, the performances, very, very different, which is really, really cool, by the way, because me personally, I don't like going to see a show and, it's just not, it's repetitive, it feels like, oh, I watched this already,
Right.
and same thing with O-Town. Matt, look, when me and Matt were up there and I had seen them in Houston like 3 weeks before, and I said, all right, these dudes are going to blow your mind. I said, you got to prepare for it. Prepare. You don't know these songs, but you will know them. And the first song was Liquid Dreams, which, as a kid, we're like, oh, Liquid Dreams. Nah. Now we're like, huh. But like, so like they started it and Matt was like, these guys are amazing.
So good. So good.
He's like, they're singing live. There's no, they don't use backtracks at all, which is amazing. And, it's crazy, that they're, just like Backstreet, just like New Kids, they're still continuing doing what they love. And then of course we got to see 98 Degrees, another band who is perfection. I would say perfectionist as well.
I would agree.
Vocally, I was like, wow, and then they did True to Your Heart. So that just, made everything for me.
Caleb's really making me feel old right now because I remember when all these groups came out.
I totally forgot they were there. I totally forgot about that.
They were.
They were good. They were
Sure
good.
Was, man. Which,
I was gonna say, I'm the youngest of this whole
You
group,
are
I
the
would
baby.
say.
Yeah.
Barely, by the way, barely. Go on.
Wait, you're the youngest?
Barely.
Yeah, I'll be 30 in January.
I'm 28.
Oh yeah. Psych. Barely
was like-
still. All right.
Right. You're right there.
We'll
But
give it a
still,
pass.
for me, like, I listen to what my parents listen to. I listen to a lot of 90s country, and then like I discovered Backstreet on my own. And then my mom, when Britney kind of started going crazy, my mom was like, no more pop music for you. You're coming back over here. Because she didn't want me to end up like Britney, if you know what I mean. Like crazy, dressing all bad and that kind of deal. So like, for me, it was all country for me. So I'm just like,
yeah, see,
I
for me,
New Kids, though, separate from Backstreet, because I got into New Kids because of Backstreet, and I can definitely say, like, they definitely have a different vibe, but they're the only two boy bands I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, man.
But I grew up on country. It was either country, oldies, or the radio was off. Yeah, I didn't get into the pop music till about 97, and I did it, on my own. So I heard As Long as You Love Me on the radio. Had no clue who it was, because, the radio stations don't tell you that stuff. Then a few weeks later, I always would check MTV to see what video was playing before I got on the bus, because I was the first one on the bus because of where I lived. And there was everybody. And I saw this really cute 16-year-old blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy, and that was it.
Game over.
That was it. NSYNC went to number 2, and Nick had my heart for those first 2 years. 99 hit. Brian got a little older, and that was the end of that.
What about you, April?
What?
Outside of Backstreet.
Sorry, I had a lag. I'm like, my thing's spinning.
It's all right. It's all right. Outside of NSYNC and Backstreet and those guys, what other boy bands, type of pop music were you into growing up?
Hanson and Spice Girls, surprisingly.
O-Town.
98 Degrees. Yeah, 98
Spice
Degrees, Hanson. Spice Girls, yeah.
I didn't get into Hanson.
Those were my go-to.
I loved Hanson. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. My love and obsession for Hanson as a child.
I think they're getting better, honestly, dude.
Yeah,
they are. All their new stuff that just came out for Against the World. They just released their last one for that, I think about a week or so ago, and I haven't had a chance to listen to that song yet. But they were putting on shows there in Tulsa. Were doing live shows each time they released one, and I was wanting to go so bad, but work schedule and stuff like that, just I couldn't do it. But yeah, that is one group that I have followed since like they first came out when they were little. And of course the drummer, he was always the cutest to me because he was the youngest, he was closest my age, and time has definitely been nice to him.
Yeah.
He's still doing
all of them. It was so cool to see them on the Masked Singer last season.
Oh, I know, as the Russian Dolls, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely incredible. I've actually, growing up, I kind of, my dad kind of taught me what music was, and he just kind of introduced me to groups, like Bee Gees and Hall & Oates, and never really, truthfully, never ever listened to the Beatles growing up. I know maybe three of their songs, no joke. But
household with Beatles.
Then you need to watch Yellow Submarine.
I know.
So you can be introduced to their other songs.
But no, I just look, I was introduced to amazing, talented individuals and artists and duos and groups. But like, I discovered Backstreet. I discovered, all these different people. I remember like BB Mac was one of my first people I discovered in the, late 90s. And
BB Mac was good.
And it's, I don't know, but growing up, it was all, it was Elton John, and it was all these different individuals, and and I don't know, just always learned what real music was, and thankfully Backstreet and all these other people fell in that category easily,
Yes.
I'm
See, I grew up on 80s hair bands and anything like rock like that. So like, yeah, you had Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, which I've seen multiple times. And so it was like all those 80 hair bands. Yep.
Like Twisted
pretty much
Sister.
all that played.
Yeah, Def Leppard, Poison, Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah. I love me some Guns.
That's why I just want you to know the video for that, because it's just 80s galore.
Yep.
I love that video. I know
I was born in the middle of the 80s, so I am a 90s baby, but I have much respect for the 80s. And I
was born in the very last half of the 80s. So.
I love every moment of that music video. It's just beautiful.
I was completely different than you guys. So like my sister, I don't think we've ever talked about this, honestly. My sister was 7 years older than me. So I would always sneak into her room and take her CDs. And back then, kids that are listening, they had cassette tapes. So I would look through those. And I remember finding the Tupac All Eyes on Me cassette tape, where he's looking up at, a light, but apparently it's supposed to be God. I'm assuming, because he always thought he was going to die.
Yep.
So I remember listening to like that and Nothing But a G Thing and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. And then I found Backstreet, completely different, but still it's kind of like it shaped who I am in a way, and just all sorts of different types of music. And then my dad, of course, would listen to Alice in Chains and Kiss and AC/DC and all that, so like I'm a man in a box, that type of stuff. So I'm like such a seasoned music person, but like I don't know, I like it all if it has meaning behind it. Like the thing about Tupac that people don't understand is his like poetry, like they see like the gangster who's spitting at cameras and all that, but they don't see, I was raised by a woman, I was made by a woman, that type of stuff, like he was such a soft-hearted man who had such a love for females because that's who raised him. And it's just crazy. It's crazy to see, again, media portrays you the way, but that's sold albums back then. That gangster rap sold albums, and that's what he did. He was an artist.
I mean, look at NWA. You know, some of the greatest singles, some of the greatest music, and well, it might be the greatest, rap history, and the stuff they were talking about, like they weren't doing that.
No.
You know,
Right.
like come on, you know.
Dr. Dre was he was a DJ who dressed up in disco outfits and produced like disco pop music.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what he did. They found him in a club. You know,
Wow.
Ice Cube and him grew up down the street from each other. And
that's cool.
Ice Cube, on the other hand, was probably a gangbanger. So that's just,
yeah.
you know, different folks.
It's crazy though, man. You know, but you know, that was some timeless music, and still is today. You can listen to, you know, Straight Outta Compton, and I don't listen to certain songs of theirs because it's a little too rough. But like Straight Outta Compton, that's, you know, I could jam that.
Yeah, it's what crazy times that we grew up in. That's so wild to think about. Like without Facebook and YouTube, these were in magazines. This little East Coast West Coast war or whatever was started by magazines. It's wild. It's just hard for me to fathom. Crazy.
Our social media back then was message boards where you had to wait for a reply.
Yeah.
Days and days to get on dial-up.
Oh, that dial. Oh, that dial-up
Your mother's
noise.
screaming at you because you're tying up the phone line.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be just in the middle of something. I need to get online now.
Yeah.
I need to
Really?
use the phone.
I've been downloading this song for 3 days.
It disconnects. It's over.
Yeah, right. LimeWire, your computer.
Rest in peace, LimeWire.
Man,
Many unreleased Backstreet songs came from you.
I remember Kaza.
I'm not even kidding. I
Kaza,
have so
dude,
many.
yeah.
Anybody
I have
else
so
use
many-
Bearshare?
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Figure Share.
Yeah.
I remember
Fair Share,
that one.
Morpheus, Kazan, whatever. Kaza.
I remember when Napster came out.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The one
That
we don't
was-
speak of.
Napster.
That was gonna destroy everything, and
Yeah, it's gonna ruin the world.
my
Hello, Apple
God.
Music. Such crazy times, bro. So the last thing I wanted to touch on with you guys, while we have you, because I think we're all kind of on the same page with this, is we've discussed it before, but I pulled up something that Caleb sent to me yesterday with Nelly and this BET award thing, where he went through a catalog of the songs, and I realized like that dude has worked with everybody. You're talking Paul Wall, Kelly Rowland. They went on tour with Backstreet and Florida Georgia Line. Like there's something about a person like that that's not afraid to change things a little bit. Tim McGraw,
Love that song.
just
I
says
love that
something.
song, yeah.
We forget that he helped transform music in a way, right?
Mhm.
It's very
crazy.
versatile. Yeah, I never thought
Yeah.
I'd see a rapper in concert because that's not my forte. But I've seen Nelly twice, and both times I saw him was with a boy band. I saw him with New Kids and TLC, which was really weird, by the way. TLC was really strange. And then I saw him with Backstreet and Florida Georgia Line, and he was amazing. He fit right in with like the rest of the bill. And I thought, well, a rapper and a pop band, like, are they really?
Mhm.
And he's really just an artist. I don't think you can really put him into a box. And then what surprised me was seeing him on Dancing with the Stars. And he
Yes,
was
I was getting ready to
say that. Was cool.
We'll see how this goes. And he almost
Yeah.
thing like. And he made he made his tennis shoes into dance shoes so that he
That's
could be
right.
himself.
Yes.
And it was like
Yes.
really cool to just see how he just molds into like
Whatever.
everything.
Mm-hmm. That was I think last season was probably one of my favorite seasons to watch because it definitely well, you had AJ and Cheryl, and then they had the podcast come from that for Pretty Messed Up, and then Nelly and his partner. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I loved watching last season.
I think it brought a lot of people together. Honestly, April, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just being funny.
Oh.
But I think it brought a lot of people together that season. You know, because people would like it was crazy. They would perform and then we'd get on to like see what people are saying about it, like his outfit or his new haircut.
Yep.
I mean, it was just kind of it was in that time where we had nothing else to do. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and it was that, and then you had that on Mondays, and then you had Masked Singer on what Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Wednesdays,
So
you know.
like, oh,
Wednesdays, yeah.
Gonna sing now because everybody knew.
Right?
Oh my God.
Mr.
Everybody
Pink Crocodile.
I had to literally every week in the group be like, okay, listen, guys. No spoilers, because some of us cannot watch it till Thursday. I had to tell every week. I had to tell them.
Frack show.
Remember, guys, no spoilers. Some of us can't watch it till Thursday.
Sorry,
I was a
Heather.
Thursdayer.
That
but
was
yeah,
so cool.
I think that just brought us all together. Like, you know, we had AJ and Nick, and it was like, I think that was the most TV
They
I ever watched,
saved that year. They hardcore saved that year. They really did. But after Nick performed that first time, my Facebook exploded.
Mine too.
Mine
my
just
phone blew
up.
We gotta come see this pink crocodile. We gotta come see
Yeah.
And
everyone was like, "It's pink crocodile! It's pink crocodile!" So I actually hopped on YouTube. I hadn't watched it yet, but I'm like, okay. I hopped on YouTube. As soon as he opened his mouth, I'm like, "Yep, that's Nikki."
We have a stuffed pink crocodile in my house. So
nice.
That's cool.
I actually bet my girl cave with my boyfriend that was Nick.
I bet. I was like, okay, here's my fan card. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
I've been listening to this boy sing since he was 16.
I don't really watch him because it's not that hard to find out who's who, and I'm pretty good with voices, and it kind of takes the fun out of it because I'm just like.
It was fun to watch him evolve though, because like he did all these things that you wouldn't like. I wouldn't have expected him to sing Britney Spears or Leona Lewis, but he did. And he
did amazing.
When he like sang
he did.
Open Arms, I was just like, I didn't know you could sing.
Yeah,
like
same. I was like, oh my god, it's so good.
It was cool to see him do his ranges that he does on his solo albums because he doesn't go in those ranges very often when he's with the guys.
That's true.
No.
So to hear him do those ranges that he does on his solo stuff was really cool because a lot of people don't know he can get that low. Like in his newest song, Scary Monsters, holy crap, does he get low and
Yeah, he's a talented individual.
He's amazing. He really is.
And those children of his, that daughter of his, he's gonna be in trouble someday with that.
Yeah, he is.
He's gonna be in trouble with both of them.
Yeah,
they're both sassy,
but they're also adorable.
They are. All the Backstreet Kids are adorable. They all got their hands full.
Who would have ever thought that these guys would have like such beautiful children? Because they're all cute. Every single one.
That's true. I mean, who am I to kid? They're good-looking men. You know, it is what it is. And they just don't get older. It's wild. It's crazy to me. It's mind-blowing.
And they look better the older that they're getting too.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they sound better too.
They are. Yeah, they do.
Hey, they age like fine wine.
That's right. Either that or Kevin is definitely hiding the fountain of youth because he sure is making 50 look like the new 20.
Right. At least 25.
To piggyback off of Matthew, you can tell what is old Backstreet and what is new Backstreet.
Oh yeah.
I wanna be with you. Like you could tell what age Nick was. I love
yeah. Well, yeah.
Like, yeah, he was 12 in that song because
right.
He sounds like a girl.
Yeah.
I would quote Nick, but it's not appropriate for the show, so I won't quote Nick with what he said about that back in the day.
Like, we were at the after party in Chicago, and it was the 20th anniversary of the Red album, and they played Let's Have a Party, and the guy that went with me to the after party, because Nick was trying to harmonize with himself, the guy that went with me was like, who is this? Like, that's 12-year-old Nick.
That's
and
Nick.
Like 38-year-old Nick.
Right.
Wow. It's like me trying to harmonize with Caleb. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I think we sounded fantastic.
We sounded great, but that's because of you. And I just, I tried to match you, and you're like, don't. I'm doing something different.
I was like telling you, all right, you go high, I'll go. No, I'll go high, you go low, and then you try to match me. I was like, no, you go down. And
like, I don't know what I'm doing.
What's funny is on the way to Ohio, me and April were supposed to be jamming, but that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know April a lot better on the way down. So the music was just in the background. But I put in Backstreet's Back because it's the other album that wasn't released here. And I wanted her to hear the songs that, didn't get released.
I heard the songs, just quiet.
But on the way back, it was full-blown concert mode.
Oh, God, yeah. I think for the minute we left Allison's house, went and got gas, and we got on the highway. We cranked it as high as I could in her car because I was driving her car. Yeah, I think I was hoarse by the time I walked into my door at home.
And it's only a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
You can listen to a lot in 3 hours. Let me tell you, we got through
quite a few.
4 hours.
Yeah.
79 songs.
But I mean, even
and some on repeat. We did a couple on repeat.
Even when we stopped and got gas, I left my door open because As Long as You Love Me was playing. And I was just singing right along. No worries. Door was open. I didn't care. Pumping gas, head bopping.
Right.
It was such a fun trip home.
Yes, it was.
I'm glad you guys did it. I'm glad you guys got together. I'm glad you guys met for the first time or second time for two of you.
Yeah.
We even celebrated Bailey a little bit.
Yep, we did. I had my first taste of moonshine.
Interesting.
Watermelon flavored.
It was good.
So she went moonshine tasting when she was in Tennessee when I was in Florida. And that was one thing I didn't pack when I packed all of her stuff. Because Chris and I ended up taking all of her stuff back to Virginia for her family because they were going to come get it. But then she had, everything had happened. So Chris and I are both drive. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense for her parents to come get her stuff and make another trip. So we just took it down. But I didn't pack her strawberry watermelon or her sour watermelon moonshine.
She'd want you to have it.
Her birthday's next weekend and she's going to be 30. And I was like, well, we can just take a toast and celebrate her birthday that way. And so since these ladies can't come, we did another one while they were here.
Man, I'm happy for you guys, man. It's a tragic and sad thing that happened with Bailey, but she'll live on through people like you, Allison. So, I'm sure she's looking down and she's dang proud of you. So,
yep.
The one person that it tore me up, and Caleb saw the video, but the one person that it tore me up to tell was Bailey Littrell. He was. I got a video from that because
that cameo.
And them were trying to send Bailey a cameo like she had gotten in the year that she was living here and she was sick, and it didn't get done in time because Leanne's mom is very sick too. The video didn't get done in time. So it ended up coming to me unexpectedly, and let me tell you what. I think I sent it to Caleb. I don't think I sent it to Matt, but an 18-year-old boy bawling his eyes out for 2.5 minutes was rough.
I was in the bathroom watching it. It was rough. Tears were just pouring. Like, my boy is crying. He's so upset.
He was pretty tore up.
This isn't right. Yeah, it just broke my heart to see him.
I don't know if I told everybody, but they buried her with his dog tags, so he went with her.
Yeah.
So Leanne didn't even know that she still wore those. She was like, I didn't even know that she even still had those. And I was like, yeah, Bailey put those on her in July, and she didn't take them off till we took her to the hospital because she didn't want them to get lost. The hospital's lost her stuff before. So she was like, I don't want these to get lost. Give these to my mom. And so I did. And then they buried her with them. So a piece of him went with her. So.
Man, that's crazy. That's intense.
It went so fast. Like, it didn't even hit me yet. Like, I went to her funeral. I saw her casket. I've seen her gravesite through pictures. And, like, it still hasn't even, like, I can't even wrap my brain around it because it was 2.5 weeks from when I took her to the hospital to the day she died. And she asked me, actually, the night before she died, we actually got to go see her because Ohio has really strict restrictions still on COVID. And she asked me if she could go. So.
I remember taking us and telling us that night. Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, do you want me to fight or do you want me to go? And I was just like, I can't be selfish. I can't keep you here if you're going to suffer. So, and she would have never made it through chemo and all this stuff they wanted to do. She would have never. She was full of cancer. At the end of the day, she had it in her bones, her brain, her lungs. It was everywhere.
Chemo wouldn't have even wouldn't have even touched it. It would have just made her more miserable.
And our friendship didn't end real great, like, because I was pretty mean to her towards the end. She was pretty mean to me, but at the end of the day, I was scared for her. I was like, you're sick and you're not doing anything about it. I'm going to find you. And that's my worst fear. And it's for anybody to find anybody else dead. But that was my fears. I was like, I'm going to wake up one day because I still work from home. I was like, I'm going to wake up one day and you're going to be dead. And that's, I don't want that. Like, I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy. And if I got to take you to the hospital to get you better care, that's what I'm going to do. Like, I don't hate you for kicking you out, but I can't watch you just not take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I know she's forgiven me. I've forgiven her at the end of the day, but I know her family's
I think everybody
bitter about
knows.
it,
I think everybody knows the story that, what happened was the right thing to do. You aren't in any way, shape, or form able to fully take care of somebody that needs that kind of care, So you did the right thing for her, and everybody will see it that way. Just got to give it time, man,
Yeah.
I think seeing Bailey in concert will be when I break.
That's when it'll hit you, when you see Bailey again.
Yeah, because my one friend was like, you two are gonna sit there and like hold each other.
Yep, you guys will cry. Yep, and that's what you both will need. Yep.
We're gonna need to go with you, Allison. Yep. We're gonna need to go with you.
Chris told me he would go. Like I say, Backstreet's not his thing, but he was like, next time Bailey does a show, I'll go with you. But his cousin lives in Atlanta too, so he can just kind of hang out with her and be like, these people are crazy.
He's such a great guy. You really got lucky, Allison.
Yeah, there are days where we,
Well, it's every relationship, but
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very, very happy and pleased that you guys got a chance to meet and a friendship that'll live on forever, So we are happy to be a part of your guys' lives. We're happy that you guys came on for episode 65. We hope everybody has a great, safe, and wonderful weekend. Caleb, what you got, brother, man?
This has been great, guys. It's always great just having you guys all together in one room and us just chatting away. But just know that Matt and I love you guys. I think pretty much everybody is pretty much an OG in here of the show, and if you're not, we still consider you an OG because there's like 12, 14, maybe like 16 people we consider like OGs, there from the start. And
ooh, I picked that one up.
Yeah, man.
I remember when y'all did it with your cell phones,
right?
Yeah.
I think I was right at the end of the OGs into the second gen, maybe.
Second gen.
Yeah, we have, I don't know what generation we're on now, but we're definitely got a lot of them. But yeah, we really appreciate you guys always tuning in and just always supporting us and just being there with us. And, we have a lot of things scheduled and planned for you guys. And it's stuff we can't even tell you as much as we feel we should tell you. But we have some stuff going on for you guys very soon. And again, we just, it's gonna be,
for sure.
It's gonna be pretty exciting, but yeah, just know that we're always here for you guys, and it's just a beautiful thing what we all have together.
Yeah, we all got to get together at some point. We got to meet the
all of us.
OGs, like
Let's
the
go.
men that created this. Because I can't remember if I met Matthew on a Husker forum first or a Backstreet forum, but I was just like a straight dude that loves Huskers and Backstreet Boys. I'm all for
my
it.
man.
My man. Right?
Stop.
Oh, you're making me turn red.
Oh, you blush it.
That don't want in my pants in the Backstreet world. This is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna hopefully plan something very soon. Get together and get some dates aligned and kind of just go with you guys and see what we can do. Maybe we can all meet up and get a condo, do something together just for a weekend or something. And we'll definitely make something happen next year. For sure. Next year, the Frick and Frack show is going to take over the USA.
The Frick and Frack retreat. The Frick and Frack retreat.
There you go.
We'll go to all four corners of the world.
Let's go. Everybody have a good and safe weekend. This has been episode 65. This is a podcast for the fans, with the fans this time. Bailey, we're thinking about you. We love you. You girls have a safe and nice weekend, and we'll talk soon. Peace.
Yo, it's the Frick and Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by
This
the
is the
fans.
Frick and Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by the fans.
Frick and Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by the fans.
All right, guys, you're watching the Frick and Frack Show podcast for the
fans by the fans.
Love you.